let me talk about the first thing that came out, because I feel like this might be a little bit of a sore spot for many of you. First of all, we have here the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is a situation where we feel a little bit like stabbed in the back, okay? And there is kind of a big connection here. So when a card falls out at the beginning of the spread, it usually indicates a situation that you have already uncovered, that has already been, it has already happened. You're already made aware of it. And so this is an ending of some sort, okay? An ending to a situation where you felt like defeated, where you felt, I feel like for many of you, recovering from illnesses as well, especially surgeries, dealing with some type of an emotional pain. And I feel for many of you, this can be in relation to siblings, in relation to some type of a childhood hurt or trauma, a situation where you had some emotional hangups as a child, some things that happened to you, and you kind of carry that chip on your shoulder. And I feel like the month of March, during that entire, uncomfortable Mercury retrograde period, I feel for many of you, a lot of secrets came to light, and the secrets, you guys are really intuitive. So I feel like whatever you were sensing all along, it came to light, and you were getting a lot of confirmation that your intuition was not messing with you, that whatever you were feeling, whatever you were thinking, whatever your hunches were, they were all correct. Okay. So the information has been revealed, and you have kind of moved away from it, and you have figured out that, I really need to trust my intuition. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, this is a card about childhood. This is a card about all the times in the past that somebody has hurt us. And so even though we have moved away from it, we still carry the abandonment issues, the trust issues, the emotional baggage associated with all the past hurts that we haven't really laid to rest, that we haven't really found closure on. So in a way, I feel like there might have been a situation here where you're dealing with somebody, and in the process of dealing with them, if they did something wrong to you, you get really, really upset. And you're not only thinking about what this person did wrong, you're thinking about all the past situations where the energy was very, very familiar, where the patterns keep recurring, where, like the way that they treated you, or the things they said to you, or whatever the situation was. It harkens back to a previous time where you were put in a similar situation. So it's almost like that Mercury retrograde period, thank God, is over. It ended on March 23rd. Okay. It needed to happen so that we can really take the emotional stock of where we've been, what our emotional hangups are, so that we can kind of leave it in the past and not bring it forward to our future, because you're starting to realize that there were things that happened years ago that you might not have completely gotten over. And so you definitely are at a point where you're looking for brand new things. You're starting a new chapter in your life, and you want to turn the page into like that blank new page, so that you can rewrite, or you can continue to write or advance into your future. But you haven't been able to do that because of this sheer amount of emotional baggage, trust issues, abandonment issues. Times where you thought you were less than because, that was the environment that you might have grown up in. So I definitely feel there was a situation here that you've come to the realization that this is a soulmate connection here. Okay. This is like two people who are very innocently, passionately, fell in love with each other. And I feel like, the emotions, the love was definitely there. But when the two people came in together, in their naivety, they thought that everything was going to be a bed of roses. Okay. So this is like puppy love. This is like very strong, mutual reception, like mutual feelings that two people have together. And as long as they're together, everything is going to be okay. However, there wasn't planning. It's like two kids, like at recess, they hold hands and they're smiling the whole day. And they don't really need to worry about the future, because back then the future was like unknown, and then the situation itself, it wasn't complicated. But then now I feel like the reality has hit, or has kind of like broken open over this relationship. And there are a lot of things to consider. And I feel this Empress energy is your energy. You have big goals. You have big plans. This is somebody who's very independent. Okay, like she's self-possessed, and you can be male or female watching this. This is the energy of someone who's very, very attractive, who takes really good care of themselves. They have very high standards, and they have like a really strong moral upbringing. They know right from wrong, and they don't do things to hurt other people, or they don't stray from their moral path. So this is your energy. You want to create. You want to build a future for yourself. You're possibly at the very peak of your career as well. You're generating money. You're taking care of yourself. You're self-sufficient. Some of you could be like a single mom or a single dad, and you're in this state of mind where you take care of everything that's on the table. You take care of the kids. You take care of your business. You keep the house clean. You can take care of yourself. And you are also a major player in your work environment. So I feel like, the world has really, it's like you're out to conquer the world. And I feel because your energy is so highly elevated, you're not very tolerant of people who are still trying to find themselves. You're not, this is somebody who's so self-sufficient that when life deals them a blow, they pick themselves up and dust themselves off and try again. They don't let life get to them. And I feel like in a way, it's sort of like the typical Aquarius person, because a lot of the times you don't blame your circumstances, okay? Whenever things happen, okay, so they happen to everyone. Whenever things happen to you, I feel like one of your coping mechanism is pick yourself up off your own bootstraps and start over. And so with Aquarius people, if someone really, really hurt you, you don't give them a second chance. You don't give them the time of day. You cut them out and you move on with your life. Even though it hurts, you bury yourself in work and you move forward, because that's what I'm feeling here. This is the work card, okay? Somebody who's slaving away, who's very, very immersed in their craft, really immersed in what they're doing. They love their job. They generate quite a bit of financial resources for themselves. And so this has been your coping mechanism, okay? It's like suppressing the emotions, not feeling the feelings, and channeling all that excess energy to other areas of your life where you can see tangible, visible results, okay? That's when an Aquarius person has turned really cold. They have a tendency of doing that. And I feel like this might be the situation that's happening in your life right now, where you're not focusing on the love part. You're not focusing on the relationships, or you're not focusing on past disappointment and people that have disappointed you. You move on and you sever ties and you don't look back. And other people might perceive you as being very, very stone cold, but it is a coping mechanism. It has it's like a coping mechanism that you have resorted to many, many, many times in your past. And in the process of doing that, I feel like the only danger is whenever we feel something, we really have to sit still with ourselves and to really figure out, why is this making us so upset? Why is this such a big trigger for me? And am I upset at this person, at this situation? Or am I upset of dealing with the cumulative effects of all the previous situations that are similar to this? Because every time you feel something, you suppress it. You distract yourself with other things. You immerse yourself heavily in work. And I'm sensing that for the month of April, it's almost like I'm seeing this egg, okay? Somebody is like making an omelet or something. They crack open the egg and the guts spill out into this frying pan. And, it bubbles up and then it's served for breakfast to somebody else. So that's what I'm feeling. It's almost like you have broken a cycle. you have been broken open. You're coming to the awareness that this situation triggered me so much, and I wasn't able to make sense of it because I ran away from it or I never properly processed it. And so this month, it's all about giving something a name, like being able to pinpoint exactly, why am I so upset at this situation? Why does this person trigger me so much? Why does their behavior bother me so much? And you're realizing that it's not just this person. It's not just this connection. It's everything else that has happened in the past. It's everything else that has made me feel less than, made me feel abandoned. And I feel like you're finally able to own up to the fact that there was a situation here where somebody really hurt you a while ago, I feel, for many of you. And it was a significant relationship. Think back to the most significant past relationship that you've had where, you know, it might have lasted 6 years. It might have lasted 10 years. It might have been a situation where I feel something like 3 years ago. It harkens back to a situation that happened 3 years ago that you felt was very, very damaging. So whatever that is to you, Aquarius, I feel like now you're like, finally, I'm okay. You might have told yourself, you know, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I'm okay, I'm okay. But now emotionally, you're releasing, you're purging. It's already at the end of the cycle. It's not going to be making a comeback. It's not going to affect your self-esteem or your sense of self-worth or your sense of like lovability moving forward into the future. Okay. Many of you are having a major breakthrough in a relationship right now. Okay. We have here the Lovers. It's a really beautiful card. And we have the Empress. The Empress is basically knowing your worth, being able to be given a title by another person, okay? So this is somebody that is giving you a title. You have an official title in a situation. I don't like saying this. You're wearing the pants in the relationship. You're ruling the relationship. You're the strong one in the relationship. You're in charge of your relationship. And there's this no-nonsense type of an approach to the way in which you run the relationship. Okay. So I feel like, and you know, relationships are not supposed to be about power differentials, but I definitely feel like you're the one taking charge and actively maintaining your relationship. And you're trying really hard as well to be to demand like balance in your relationship, reciprocity, and, you know, the mutual exchange of energy in your relationship, and you're not really tolerating anything less. And I feel like not only is this coming in the relationship sector, this is also coming in the friendship sector. The ones that have actively, you know, touched your bubble, okay, that sphere with the electricity running through it. The people that have actively reached out and touched you and touched your bubble and really tries to communicate and really tries to include you into the fold. You're giving them the reciprocity. You're making the gesture to reach out, and you're definitely making the effort in order to hold the people that are close to you, really close to you, to protect the things that matter to you. She's holding this staff and this shield. So like she's willing to go to war and fight for the people that she loves, the friends that she loves, defend their honor and defend her own. So I have a very no nonsense approach that you're taking in all areas of your relationships, even family as well. There's also a lot of love and support coming through from family members. Okay. So you have friendships that are really blossoming, relationships that are really thriving, family unit as well, that are just, bringing you a lot of emotional satisfaction, a lot of, I'm seeing like gentility, which is, it's a weird word. I never use that word. And I feel like when I say it, it denotes sort of like, a sense of like regality when it comes to our family. And then also the gentle and delicate and respectful way in which they give you love. Okay. They praise you. They, you know, family members know all of our deepest, darkest, secrets, right? And they know us. They've seen us at our worst. They've seen us at our best. And I feel like there's this really beautiful energy coming through regarding family members and how much they really appreciate you. So you have a lot of love, a lot of support, and a lot of like praises coming through from other people. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with you softening up your energy, reaching out to other people. Let me talk about this first, and then I'll go back to this Queen of Swords. Okay, so we have a couple here. We have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. So both of these are court cards in the water suit, and whenever two court cards, especially the Queen and the King, comes out, it indicates a relationship, okay? Keep in mind, the cards are not gender specific, so either one of these could be you, okay? You don't have to identify with the gender of the card. Either one of these people could be you. There's one person who is a little bit more on the selfish end in this relationship, okay? And it's coming out as this, okay? This is somebody that is sort of like, I feel like the energy is apprehension, one foot out the door, somebody who's not 100% sure if they are able to reciprocate, okay? Like, I'm not sure if I can love you the way that you need to be loved. I'm not sure if I can give you everything that you deserve. I'm not sure if I am good enough for you. And I'm not sure if I am at my 100% best yet to be able to be your equal match, okay? Whereas the other person, this is somebody who's like, has made it, okay? They know what they want. They have their love right in front of them, and they're completely 100% committed and devoted. Whereas you have the other person who's a little bit more standoffish because they're not really sure how they feel about the situation and whether or not they're willing to commit 100%. So you're dealing with somebody that you feel is like your counterpart, your perfect match, your ideal match, somebody that brings you a lot of emotional stability and emotional satisfaction and emotional like uplifting. And if the cards were placed like this, then it indicates, you know, he's looking at her, there's mutual reception. But when it falls out like this, it's almost like one person is a lot more sure that they want this, whereas the other person is not really sure. And it's not that they're not sure about how they feel about you. I feel like they're not sure of their own capabilities, whether or not they're able to give you what you 100% deserve, what you 100% want from them. And I feel like I'm not sure I can give you what I feel like you deserve. You deserve the world, and I don't have the world to give you. You deserve, you know, to be like wine and dine in the finest restaurant, and I'm not sure if I have that to give you. You deserve to be decked out in, you know, like a big wedding dress with like 20 bridesmaids, with like a, you know, like a beautiful beachside wedding at a resort somewhere. And I'm not sure if I have the financial resources to give you that. So I feel like you're dealing with someone who is not sure of their capability. I do see a shyness here with the person that you're dealing with. And keep in mind, this is, you know, water energy, okay? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is somebody that really cares about you. They really care about you, but they feel like they have hang-ups. They have shortcomings. They have things in their lives that are not running smoothly the way that things are going in your life. So they're constantly comparing their capabilities, their station. They're constantly comparing their life with your life, and they feel like they're not living up yet to their potential. And they feel like you're the empress. So emperors and the empress, they rule empires. The king only rules like a tiny little, you know, fiefdom or kingdom or whatever you call it. Okay. So it's like this trumps that. And so they feel almost like they don't have enough to give you. They can't love you the way that you deserve. And I'm sensing like, you know, yes, this is a personal hang up that's coming through from their end. But on the more, I guess like on the more pragmatic front, this is a person that feels like you deserve a lot more. And they're chastising themselves Why can't I be the person to give that Aquarius person everything that they deserve? So I feel like you're dealing with somebody like that who is apprehensive because they're not able to give you everything that they feel you deserve. You might be dealing with a Cancer here. Very strong. This is the Chariot card. This is the card of Cancer. We also have Gemini, the Lovers. This is the card of Gemini. We also have this is Leo, Taurus, and Libra for me, okay, with the Empress, because she's very regal, she's very strong, and she's very, I almost want to say like a little bit territorial. So you might be dealing with those combinations of actors who are trying to move their life along. The Chariot is about like harnessing the shadow side of us and the more enlightened side of us, to stop fighting with ourselves, to stop being indecisive, to make a decision and move forward. This is somebody, whoever you're dealing with, they're trying to make their life better. They're trying to be your equal match. They feel deficient. And you know, you love them anyway, so it doesn't really matter, right? Like, you don't care about these external things. But I feel like if somebody who's if somebody is conflicted and they're not comfortable in their own skin, or they feel like they don't have a lot to give, or they don't have a lot to offer, they can't bring the best of themselves to a relationship. Okay, so I feel like they're trying to get things moving in their lives. They're trying to sort out things that are happening around them. And then as a result of it, I just feel like there are a lot of things that they need to sort out before they can be a good relationship partner. So this is not to say this is a no-go, or, you know, dump this person, or, you know, don't feed any more energy to this person. But I feel like they have a lot of things they need to sort out. So I guess the advice here is for you to kind of